Dear friends, many of you possibly have come for the first time today to this event, the Global AI Summit. I can say so because most of you are not having this batch. So post lunch we had allowed anyone to come in. So many of you possibly have come for the first time. But you would have seen many sessions yesterday. Those of you who were here, those who came today also might have attended some session in the morning. This is a very different session, and as was explained by my colleague Ramadevi and my friend Osama, this is a platform to recognize who is really harnessing the potential of AI. See today, AI has become a tool which is very easily available to everyone. In fact, if you open your phone and if you use WhatsApp, if you just open WhatsApp, you will find that right at the beginning of WhatsApp, Meta has provided an AI tool. So literally AI is in your hands, AI is on your fingertips. Most of us so far play around with it, like tell us a joke or compose a poem or make some artwork or these kind of things. I mean, it has become a tool, or sometimes if you have to make a presentation or if you have to prepare an essay or maybe solve some problem, we are using AI. Particularly, I use Gemini quite a lot, but many people use ChatGPT. Some of the people use Copilot. But whatever we are using it mostly for our personal productivity or recreation, entertainment, etc. But there is much more that we can do with AI. And I think I was telling this to a press person yesterday. I think I can mention about it openly, that whenever we talk about technology to the Chief Minister here, as all of you would know, he's not someone who has a technology background. I don't think, studied engineering. He did not become familiar with computers in the way students become familiar today. He may have some broad understanding, but obviously he does not have a very in-depth understanding. So if we tell him that there is some blockchain-based solution that we are implementing, or there is something else that is being developed, or when we were briefing him about this AI summit, which is happening now, there is one question which he always asks, that all this is fine, but what kind of results it will bring, which will be useful to the people. So he's a person who is more focused on impact. The usage of technology just to demonstrate a technology does not fascinate him. Technology may be very cool, technology may be very advanced, and there may be great features in that technology, but what kind of results it is bringing. And this particular session, this whole process of identifying solutions which are actually solving some real life problem which people face, which is creating an impact, this is something which is really, really very important. And this is also important for something else also. See, many of you know this, that today people like us who live in the cities, who have studied, who can speak English, we have an advantage in using technology or mastering technology as compared to people who live in the rural areas. Many of the people in the rural areas, language is a barrier because maybe they don't know English. Most of the apps, most of the tools are in English. Voice is changing a little bit of that, but still language remains a barrier. Many of them beyond a phone are not able to move to the next level of device because they feel that it is too difficult or too complicated. There is a mental block that I did not study much, I did not go to a college, I don't speak English. So a basic phone is the best that I can manage. So this is a reality, but at the same time, we all mention all the time that technology is a big game changer. Technology can really level the playing field. But unless the game changing happens right at the doorstep of the last person who is living in the most rural and the most remote village, how will that change happen? And how do we make such people also participate in that change? So, in fact, when I saw Dr. Peter Bruck on this video, I was reminded of something, and I thought I will discuss that particular point. So, about 2 years ago, I had met Dr. Brak here in Hyderabad. He had come about 2 years ago to conduct a program, an event at the Tea Hub, and I had got introduced to him. And he had told me that he is writing a book. He's compiling national case studies of how technology is being used in different countries. So can I write about India? So I took that offer and I wrote an article, a chapter in that book, which was largely based on my experiences. And later on, this book was released in an event, and many people who were there in the audience, they read my chapter and they pointed to one particular example which I had mentioned. They found that example to be very, very educative and very kind of inspirational also in some way. So I'll share what I had written in that book, that particular example. So this happened again about 4 or 5 years ago. As a department, my colleague Rama Devi leads that effort. We were working on bringing digital solutions to agriculture. As all of us know, in our state and also in many other states, the largest number of rural people depend upon agriculture. Agriculture is the biggest source to support rural livelihoods. And we had decided that we will use technology to bring out all the inefficiencies which are there in agriculture, to improve the productivity, to improve the production, to reduce the losses, etc. So as you would know, cotton is a very common crop which is grown in Telangana. And it is also a fact that cotton is affected by pests very frequently. Literally every third year or fourth year, there will be a massive pest attack, and literally half the crop will be eaten away by the pests. Crop losses will happen. So there was a startup, I think it was from Tea Hub, if I'm not mistaken. That startup had designed a tool, an app, which was a AI-powered tool, which had this picture recognition ability. So if you take a picture of your crop at frequent intervals, from the back end, the algorithm was such that it will precisely tell whether the crop is healthy or not. If it is not healthy, what kind of problem is coming, is any pest attacking. And if you do it in a timely way, you will get an advance warning that this pest is likely to attack your crop. And if you do this, now your crop will be saved. And we tried it out in one of the farms of the agriculture university, and we found that it was working quite well. So you will know that in India it is very common, also in Telangana, that if anything is to be introduced, we conduct a small ceremony around it. We will call the minister, and there will be some ceremony, some ribbon cutting, some launch, some people will be gathered. So in those days, our Minister for Technology, he was from this constituency called Sirsila. So we decided that we will launch this app in Sirsila. We will go to his constituency. We'll go to some village where large number of cotton farmers are there, and then we will, in his presence, we will do this. I mean, there's nothing very special. Why do we have to do it in Sirsila? Why not in Hyderabad? Why not in HICC? But that is the norm in our country, that these kind of things have to be done in some kind of a symbolic fanfare. So we went to Sirsila. I mean, the event was to have happened maybe at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever. I decided to go a little early just to ensure that all the arrangements are in place, people have come, and everything is in order. So when I reached there, I found something very kind of worrying. I found that the main startup guys who had created that solution, they could not come because they had some other engagement somewhere else. And they had sent one of their salesperson to that event. So the salesperson had come, he had put in his laptop, he had got the screen like behind, but he was not able to figure it out. So he was clicking this, he was clicking that, but nothing was coming on the screen. And for 5 minutes he was trying all kinds of things, but the screen was totally blank. I mean, blank meaning there was a black screen, but nothing from the system was getting loaded there. Then I noticed something very remarkable. So the time was getting closer, so people had started gathering. Lots of villagers, farmers, they had started gathering. Many of them were seated like you are seated. And I noticed that one farmer, he would be a middle-aged kind of a person, maybe 45, 50. And by the look of him, of course, by the looks of anyone, you can't really say anything. But by the looks of that person, it was very clear that he's not someone who has a PhD or some college degree, or is very rich, he knows English. I mean, he looked like a very ordinary farmer. But he stood up from there and he started telling this person that push this button first, a drop down menu will come, then select the second one, push that, something else will come, something else will come. And this person, the sales guy, he had the wisdom to follow what he was telling. And when he followed, within seconds, the whole screen was live and he was able to show. And of course, then the minister came and he clicked the button and all that. That ceremony got over. But I was very curious that how come this person knows so much about this technology. So my guess was, today also, many people in the rural parts of Telangana, their children either study in Hyderabad or work in Hyderabad. So my guess was that maybe he has children who are either studying in some engineering college in Hyderabad or working in maybe a TCS or Infosys or somewhere. And they might have guided him a little bit about technology. But I thought I will just check with him. So after the function got over, after the minister left, I walked up to him and then I asked him, who are your children? Where are they studying? Where are they working? So I was expecting some answer. They are in Infosys or Wipro or whatever. But he said that, no, my children are very, very small. They are in school locally. Then I asked him that, how did you learn all this technology? Then he told something very interesting. He told that while all of you came today, the minister came today, but the startup people have been coming here for the past 6-7 days just to tell us about this, just to make us familiar so that when the minister comes, we should not draw a blank face. So he told us that when they were telling all these applications and how through picture recognition, pest can be identified, poor condition of the crop can be identified. This is something so important for me. For generations, we are facing this problem. Every third year, all our income goes. We are just not able to move up in our life. We save something in 2-3 years, and in the fourth year, everything goes away. We go back to where we began. And it is happening not just in my lifetime. It used to happen with my father. It used to happen with my grandfather. And when he explained that this is the way in which this problem can be solved, I got so fascinated that I paid attention. I learned everything. And of course, when this person was not able to set it up, I guided him. And of course, I thanked him and appreciated him and I came back. But it left a very strong impact in me. This is all about what we ought to do. If you have to really bridge that digital divide, if you really want AI, the fruits of AI, to really reach the last mile, if everyone has to benefit, what we need to do is to pick the real challenges, the most pressing problems which people have been facing for generations. Not trivial kind of challenges. Like in my phone, live telecast is not coming of some tennis match or cricket match. Is there some VPN through which I can bypass it and watch? So not these, I mean, these may be important for some people, but these are not matters of life and death. So if you are able to identify the most pressing problems and find a solution which is easy to understand, easy to implement. So this particular solution, as I showed, it's a very simple thing. A farmer, an ordinary farmer without any education also could figure it out within a 1 day or a 2-day orientation session. And he was then able to guide others also on how to use it. So, and it just requires a basic device to use. So if you make it affordable, if you make it accessible, and most importantly, if you show to them that it will solve some persisting problem, and if you show this solution happening before their eyes, the kind of buy-in that you will get will be enormous. And possibly this is the way we overcome digital divide and we make technology. The theme of this conference is making AI work for everyone. So that is something that will really happen. And that is the reason why I give so much of importance to this session. As I said, so many great speakers have come, so many great sessions have happened, but amongst the 2 days of sessions, this is something in my mind which is the most valuable, in which we are honoring and recognizing people who are bringing such solutions to light. And I was hoping that those, at least the 6 prize winners, they will demonstrate what they are doing. But I was told we have video demonstration. So I see lots of young people in the audience, lots of students, lots of entrepreneurs. So please pay attention. If they have been recognized out of the 44 which were shortlisted and who competed for this particular prize, Obviously, there is something special about these 6. So please pay attention. And I'm sure you are all people who themselves have this urge to do something significant, to be someone special. This could be a very important guidance for you on what you need to do next in your life. So once again, I'm very glad that so many people have come to participate in this session, and look forward to the rest of the session. Thank you very much.